Okay, so get this. The Republican governor of Missouri announced that he has pardoned Mark and Patricia McCloskey. You remember those guys, the gun-toting aged Barbie and Ken couple who brandished firearms at peaceful Black Lives Matter protesters who were simply walking past their homes, not to their homes, past their homes last year. Now, these slingers from the wild, wild Midwest actually pleaded guilty to their crimes. However, Governor Mike Parson, Republican, issued no pardon for an actual innocent man, Kevin Strickland, who even prosecutors say should be set free after they have taken 43 years of his life. Now, meanwhile, the Justice Department is investigating alleged abuses by Phoenix police, while a New York county wants to allow cops to sue protesters who, quote, seriously annoy them. Joining me now to get into this, I could think of no one better, Brittany Packnett-Cunningham, founder of Love and Power Works and an MSNBC contributor. Brittany, so happy to have you on the show. You look so relaxed. Happy to have you here. Thank you. Thank you. I feel relaxed. But I feel angry as well. I mean, this situation in your neck of the woods, Missouri, I'm so utterly offended. And I just want to ask you, let's just say, hypothetically, that a Black couple was waving their firearms at a crowd of MAGA protesters who were simply walking past their house. How do you think Governor Parson would respond to that?
We know exactly how Governor Parson would respond to that. Those folks would be arrested, tried, convicted, and they'd still currently be in jail. This is par for the course for this former slave state that also happens to be my home state. This is the same state that has refused mask mandates and lockdowns and is one of the leading causes for the spread of this second wave of COVID-19. This is also the same state where the Attorney General picks fights with our beloved mayor in my hometown of St. Louis, Tashara Jones, all because she actually wants to protect people from getting sick. It's the place where white male chauvinism runs completely unchecked, and they protect their own. So they pardon their gun-toting friends, and they lock up innocent Black folks. I want to be very clear. Even the prosecutors here have said that Mr. Strickland should be released because he is innocent of these charges. Missouri repeatedly deprioritizes the needs of the people to protect the interests of the powerful. And we used to say this about elections, but I think it goes for this too. So goes Missouri, so goes the nation. This country, and certainly the state of Missouri, will stop at nothing to secure what it thinks belongs to them. That's the land, that's all of the property, and that's Black labor and Black bodies that it will continue to steal and lock up.
I want to get into this Kevin Strickland story a bit. I want you to take a listen to his interview with a reporter that is both outrageous and heartbreaking at the same time. We'll talk about it on the other side.
You do. How do you start over your life at 62? I kind of jokingly talked about that recently with a friend of mine. I guess I give me a cardboard box and get up under the bridge somewhere. Is that really? That's how you're going to start, you feel? I mean, what do I have? I mean, if they were to tell me to roll out now, they'd take this chair. I had to crawl out the front door. I have nothing.
That was Lindsay Davis with ABC News. Brittany, this is it's just heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. And you can imagine the anger, the sheer understandable righteous anger that people who look like us feel. Is this criminal justice system something that can be reformed? I mean, you sat on Obama's council for things like this. What's the solution here? Because I'm exhausted with marches, protests. I'm ready for action yesterday.
You know, I'm going to be honest. I stopped calling this the criminal justice system a long time ago because very clearly there's no justice in it. If you watch that interview and your blood is not boiling, then you actually need to check your moral center. What we just saw is infuriating, and this is not by happenstance. This is an intentional message that is supposed to be sent to the rest of us, that this country, that the state, that its institutions do not care about the innocence of Black people. All they care about is ensuring that we stay in our place, that we're there to be used for their labor, and we're there to be able to have them raise their money off of our backs. I agree with you, Tiffany. It is high time for action. The governor should have already pardoned Mr. Strickland. And let's be clear, there are lots of other folks who have been criminalized for things that should not be criminalized that are incarcerated just like him right now.
And that's the whole point. Kevin Strickland's story, sadly, is not unique. But I want you to take a listen to something Mark McCloskey said, which was equally outrageous and sparks a lot of ire, and we'll talk about that.
It seems as if the Democrats no longer view the government's job as protecting honest citizens from criminals, but rather protecting criminals from honest citizens.
They're not satisfied with spreading the chaos and violence into our communities. They want to abolish the suburbs altogether. So make no mistake, no matter where you live, your family will not be safe in the radical Democrats' America.
Brittany, if I could swear on TV, I'd have two very choice words for that entire segment, that couple. Hearing that, how can we convey to people who may not have ever experienced the disparities in the criminal justice system, how can we convey that there are two justice systems in this country, and it's going to take the work of everybody to right these increasingly past wrongs that we continue to see?
You know what I really think is critically important to convey? It is that the fact that this inequitable justice system, this inequitable legal system exists is actually hurtful to all of us. Now, I know that looking at the McCloskeys, it doesn't actually appear to look that way. And these are folks who are pulling on a very old, tried and true script to try to scare white America into fighting for what they believe is rightfully theirs, right? This is about a particular and personal attachment to a culture of white supremacy that would lead them to believe that anyone fighting just for equity, just for fairness, just for a fair opportunity and shot is actually to be seen as a threat to that supremacy. And guess what? We are a threat to that supremacy because we want to make sure that we're living in a world and in a space that is equitable for all of us. I'm not a threat to white people, but I damn sure am a threat to white supremacy, and I have no problem with that. So it's actually up to us to make sure that people of good conscience do not fall for that frightening rhetoric, that we do not allow people to believe this kind of Fox News theory that we're all out to get you, and instead invest in a world that works far better for all of us. Because if they can treat Kevin Strickland like this, they can treat anybody like this.
They can treat anybody like this, and they have. So thank you so much, Britt, for having this conversation. That tan looks amazing on you. Thanks for joining us this morning.